In the book The Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort is known as the founder of the biggest brokerage firm on Wall Street, Stratton Oakmont. His firm was not actually located on Wall Street, it was in Long Island. Unlike most brokers that have a college degree from an Ivy League school, Jordan's brokers were employees that would have never even got a chance for an interview on Wall Street. Jordan's employees were salespeople that read script and sold penny stocks to their customers. Little did the customers know, Belfort would just buy loads of these stocks and run the price up, then dump them. He would make the fortune while his customers lost all their investments. Jordan Belfort was born and raised in the Queens of New York in 1962. At a very young age, he realized he was a talented salesman. He opened up his own meat and seafood business in the early 80s, and by 1985 he got married and he had a hard time supporting his marriage. In 1987, he decided to start selling stocks. He worked for a brokerage firm for 2 years, making a decent amount of money. He learned the ins and outs of being a stockbroker, and just when he thought everything was going great, the stock market plummeted and the firm he worked for shut down. But he did not give up. In 1987, he decided to get into penny stocks, and little did he know he would make a fortune. In 1987, he opened his own firm, Stratton Oakmont. The company made millions of dollars in the first year alone, illegally that is. He would defraud his clients out of their money and make straight profit. In 1992, the Security Exchange Commission began to catch on to his ways, and they tried to put a stop to it. By 1999, Jordan Belfort pled guilty to fraud and money laundering. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison, although he only served 22 months. It took Jordan Belfort 6 years to go from a starting apprentice to the founder of his own investment firm, which is pretty astonishing. Although Jordan was a successful person in the view of a teenager's eyes, he was the most drug-induced, foul-mouthed, and immoral person I've ever read about. Believe it or not, Jordan Belfort lived a very dysfunctional life, and he constantly talked about money. He showed this by always listing how much everything cost. In a part of the book, he mentions that the bed he sleeps on is over $12,000, and that he took his family out to dinner and spent over $500,000 in one night. Why do I think this book should be introduced to the school's library? The Wolf of Wall Street is a book that all teenagers can read and actually get something out of it. Kids love reading about a millionaire and his life. Not only is this book interesting, it shows how money can corrupt someone. Jordan grew up in an average home and lived an average kid's life. He grew up and he knew he'd make a good salesman, so he followed his gut and worked hard. He made millions doing what he likes, but then later on in the book it shows how the money got to him. And he couldn't get enough of it, so he started blowing money on things that he didn't need. He was on so many drugs that it led to a serious addiction. Money led him to thinking he could do whatever he wanted, so he would constantly cheat on his wife and do illegal stuff. The moral of the story is that you should work hard, but know your rights from your wrongs. You can make money without going crazy and getting in trouble.